Mr. Yemi Johnson, who joins us now. It's good to see you again, sir. Give us your view on what is happening here. Nigeria largely defrauded. Yes, it's Nigerian money that is what we are talking about. With your knowledge about international fraud and criminality, what do you think is happening here?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. The P&ID case is a case that arises, as you know, from an arbitration award given against the government of Nigeria for a sum which is impossible to believe upon a contract which, by common understanding, was non-existent and was in its foundation fraudulent. And that is a problem for Nigeria because an award has been rendered against the country which may be impossible to pay and which has exposed a scandal in the administration of law and justice in Nigeria. As you know, an arbitration award is the product of a contract, and the award itself has no enforcement unless a court recognizes that the party's contract has validity on a number of levels. In a contract like this, what has happened is that, and this is quite common, it is recognized as a common vehicle of fraud and money laundering, and this has happened in a number of cases across the world, where arbitrations, which are contractual remedies, are invoked for the purposes of defrauding particular individuals. I think that you will find that in a number of cases concerning the Nigerian government, many of these cases have been put, and this is not the only case you will find, have been put into the process of arbitration for the purpose of perfecting a fraudulent and money laundering scheme. Now, why is this important? Because no court in the world is going to enforce a contract or the product of a contract that has been founded on fraud, criminality, bribery and corruption, or money laundering. The case being presented in London by the Nigerian government is that the foundational contract upon which this arbitration award was given was fraudulent. It was tainted by bribery and corruption. It was an instrument of money laundering. And they're saying that such a contract cannot be enforced under international public policy.
So, sir, yeah,
yes,
senior advocate, yeah. So, apologies. Let me, because it bothers my mind, and the big question is how vulnerable is Nigeria here, and what are the chances of the nation in overturning this situation? Is it slim?
Well, on its face, an arbitration award is valid. This one is valid. This case went to a hearing before a competent tribunal, and they found that there was an award of damages that could have been made against the Nigerian government. Now, there is some contest as to whether the case was presented to its best possible effect. And again, I wish to make the point that in many of the cases involving the Nigerian government, the representation and the presentation for the government is fundamentally flawed, is presented without support by government counsel, and is very often calculated to explode, to implode, and to allow the liability to third parties who are in complicity with government officials to escape with the money. So this is a problem. If you're given the case to defend the Nigerian government or a government with a similar reputation, the first thing you have to wonder about yourself is whether it's a valid claim, whether you're being unwittingly lured into participating in a scheme to defraud the government. Now, that is one thing that is being raised in this case right now. That, of course, as I said earlier on, that the fundamentals of the case were fraudulent. All right. It was based on bribery and corruption. That is the fundamental of it. So the vulnerability of Nigerian government depends on their ability to prove to an international tribunal, in this case, the court in London, that in fact this was a fraudulent case.
Thank you so much for those insights, and we'll keep our fingers crossed, I guess, Mr. Yemi Johnson, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Indeed, it's a pleasure hearing these legal thoughts and opinion on this matter. Thank you so much indeed for talking to us tonight.
Thank you.
That's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye for now.